All right. Welcome in. Glad to have all you folks in here again for our Wednesday night episode. I had a few topics I wanted to talk about, but mainly we're going to talk about is the American dream dead for Gen Z? Is it dead? And this is kind of an open format. If you guys want to join in, appreciate it. I'm going to drop the link in the description, in the chat for you guys. If you want to join in, let me wait till my mouse stops acting crazy. But welcome in again, guys. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button. As always, this is always supported by you guys. Kind of want to talk quickly about how it's going to be kind of crazy for Gen Z in the next 20, 30 years for you guys. We kind of touched on it a little bit this morning, but really I want to go in depth with it. I got Cody here, who is a Gen Zer himself, kind of in that age bracket, and let's get started with it. So I want to say first off is that got a lot of layoffs happening. We have IBM laying off people. Uh, all the tech giants are laying off. We have a bunch of companies in Portland laying off. Um, Let me share this tag. Yeah, Nike, UPS, and more continuing to lay off. Fun fact: I actually had a client for one of my cleans today that she just found out today she got laid off. So definitely an interest. It's definitely a weird time. Everyone's saying the economy's doing good, but layoffs are happening. We're kind of at the highest point of new homes being built. That includes apartments too, by Freddie Mac. So it's not looking too good for us in the long term. But is it still possible for Gen Z to get that American dream? Cody's definitely in that age group. We're gonna get some of his thoughts shortly. My opinion is that it's gonna be very hard for you guys, and a lot of people in my age group and younger are now getting hit with that FOMO, which you shouldn't have gotten into FOMO in buying a damn house. I mean, people bought too much house, too much mortgage, not enough down payment. And now we're in this scenario where taxes are going up, your PMI insurance is going up, your PMI is going up, your homeowners insurance is going up, your taxes are going up, HOA's fees are going up. We're looking at pretty high foreclosure rates. So it's definitely not looking good. It's definitely not looking good for everyone in the long term here. My thing is always the American dream is still out there. It's just becoming a lot harder, but it goes to prove a lot of people, my age group included, Gen Xers down, we kind of went a little overboard. Everyone's trying to chase being a Rockefeller, not realizing that not everybody going to have a Rockefeller life. Only Rockefellers get to have a Rockefeller life. Not even then. Like the fifth or sixth generation are probably not even going to have that type of money. But I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on it as you guys just come in. If you guys want to, just let you know we're going to keep it civil, keep it rated G. If you can't say it in Disney World, don't say it here. Kind of if you can't say it in front of your grandma, don't say it here. That's just kind of how we're running things. So Cody, welcome in. I think this is one of his days off. Um,
Yeah,
so Cody's the other half of this channel. He is a Gen Zer or pretty close to that age group,
I
between
am
20
Gen
and
Z. Yep.
25. So he definitely has his viewpoint on it. Although, in my opinion, Cody's a lot farther ahead than a lot of other people his age. But Cody, what are some of your thoughts on being able to get the American dream?
Well, the way a lot of people are looking at it now is it's impossible. So that's the general like consensus of a lot of people my age. They're saying like, oh, what's the point? They're saying that now Gen Zers are like quote unquote doom spending, which means that they're more focused on buying like, nice things like going on trips and liabilities and stuff over assets. And I've
Mhm.
been reading a bunch of stuff like that. That's like the general consensus that, oh, well, we can't buy a house, so I might as well just buy the things I enjoy or stuff like that.
And yeah, I definitely can understand the mentality behind that. Just as someone being in the finance industry, I kind of feel like that that kind of exacerbates the problem. And I also think that social media, people everywhere are forgetting that Gen Z and millennials are heavily affected by social media. And
Yes.
most people trust what these influencers are saying, doing, and presenting. And they're always flaunting the luxury cars, the yachts and exotics, the lifestyle, the private planes, and all of that. And they're putting it in your guys' face. And as a young person, you guys are as you guys are between 10 and I guess between 20 and 30, even some 15-year-olds, 15 and up, are thinking like, well, it should be easy to get wealth. It should be easy to get that lifestyle, and it's not. Even those
Yep.
influencers faking those lifestyles, like the pictures of shopping bags they have, they're all empty. They buy them off of eBay. There's a whole resale market for empty Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Burberry, Hermes shopping bags.
Exactly. There's a market for everything.
And there is a huge market for counterfeit luxury goods that people try to pass off. And they're very good at counterfeiting. The only way you would know is if you took it into the actual brand, and they would tell you right away whether it was one or a fake one or not. Even down to like there's a fake private jet studio, one in Miami, one in LA, where these influencers spend like for like 2 or 3 hours they book like 2 or 3 hours and they take all the photos they want. Same things with like a lot of guys who actually have private jets, they rent them out to people just want to take photo shoots in them. Like they're at the airport, getting ready to go on, getting ready to come off, things like that. Like these influencers will go, even regular people online will go to great lengths, great lengths to try to front that lifestyle. I could tell you right now, it's like even if your net worth is $100 million, you would burn through it if you had a private yacht and your own yacht and a private jet. It'd be damn near impossible. You have you have people you got to hire, insurance, all the liability that comes with the insurance, all the special things you have to do, the boat dock, the carrier, the where we're gonna house it in a storm, moving the plane around, and not to mention fuel. Like private yachts and jets are like the most fuel guzzling things you can ever have. And it's just like even chartering one is like 40 or $50,000 sometimes for I guess some of the newer models. And if you keep chasing that lifestyle, you keep spending it, and that's what people did. So now you got a lot of people stuck with high car payments, high mortgage payments. Everything's increasing, and on top of everything else, that you got your student loans, you got your credit card debt, you got all this other crap that you did to try to live this lifestyle. This is probably going to be the biggest financial bust of a generation ever in a long time, even more so than the Great Recession in 2008, where a lot of people went belly up on owning properties, owning their house, and getting these mortgages. To me, I just don't understand it. You should have like your car payment should be more than five. Your car shouldn't be more than 5% of your net worth, and your car payment shouldn't be more than 15% of your income. So like if you're making like 3,000 a month, then your car payment or times 15 should be no more than 450. 450 at the highest. You should be aiming for like 250 to 300 because you also got maintenance, you got fuel costs, you got insurance costs, you got other things, unexpected costs, things like that you just got to prepare in there. Tire replacing the tires, regular maintenance, all that stuff. And you got to make sure you have your deductible set aside in case you do get into an accident. And I keep coming across a lot of these videos on TikTok, and especially it's hitting young women hard because, like, if you've been paying attention to anything over the last 5 years, you know that there. What was it, Cody? It was the city girl life and the boss chick life. Those are unattainable. No one's going to be able to do it. Life was not meant for you to trudge along this absolutely by yourself. And here they're
Yeah.
just racking up debt. They're just racking up debt. Let me tell you something about when I worked in the banking industry. Even other women who worked as loan officers or real estate agents, they're sitting there going, "Yes," when they see a woman that's going to buy because they know they will always buy more house than they should, put down less money than they should, and as long as you pitch them on their dream home and FOMO, they got it in the bag. I can't tell you how many real estate agents are on my network right now that have oversold homes to single mothers. And I can tell you right now, or not single mothers, not just single mothers, but single women. And I could tell you right now, in 2 or 3 years, those houses are going to go into the foreclosure market, go into REO status. And it's a shame because you bought too much house with too little down payment to get too much mortgage. And if anything happens, like an increase in taxes, which anyone should have said, well, that's common sense. If the values of everything goes up, if the housing values all go up, then that means the percentage didn't change, but the amount that you have to pay, which means the tax assessors coming by and assessing your home and adjusting what your yearly payment is for taxes. And of course, a lot of Gen Zers, they don't open up their mail. All this stuff, they don't respond by email. They don't go all through text and stuff. They send things through certified mail. So that means you got it, you didn't look at it, you didn't open it, and now 8 months later, you're negative $20,000 in escrow. And now the bank's saying, hey, you got to either make a lump sum payment or come up with a payment plan, or you got to give back the house, give up the house. And I hate to say it, but that time's coming. I mean, we talked about it earlier that women spend the most amount of money in the markets, in the consumer markets, on debt, everything. They have the highest amount of student loan debt, personal debt, consumer debt, auto loans, mortgages. I mean, there's an article. I don't have to look for it. Yeah, I think I found it right here. Single woman buying homes. Here we go. Got this right up here. Share this and that, right? So this article popped up, single women buying homes. I think it was, maybe it wasn't this. More sing- There it is. More single women own home. Here it is. It's a video too about it. We're going to listen to it in a second. But they're saying 19% of all new home buyers were single women compared to 10% of single men. Studies show that women are more likely than single men to make financial sacrifices for home ownership. Now that part is true. I will tell you this: if there's a financial goal for a woman to get something, any woman I've ever dated, they're willing to make those sacrifices to get it. That's not the issue. The issue is that, and I could pull it up here on Zillow, that you buy too much home for what it is. I'm just going to pull up Fayetteville, Arkansas. Let's just go here. Let's hope I get the right zip code for it. Okay, perfect. I got downtown and the outskirts, pretty much. All right, so wow, these even got expensive out here, but I'm pretty sure. Let me remove the boundary. Is it Elkins? Here we go. Elkins, right? Okay. So This is a new construction out here, out in kind of like the stretch of the boonies. As you can see, this is not a luxury house. It's just a regular house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's barely 1,150 square foot home. It's barely that. And guess what? You could probably afford this. Estimated mortgage 1465. You add in taxes and PMI. If you're a new home buyer, probably around 1800. But that's not what they're buying. That's what none of them are buying, right? Let's go down here. Let's go to here. Where's those? Because this is where we've been moving a lot of them in. Right here. So they're going for these modern homes. Well, personally, I think this is an ugly home. That's just my opinion. And I even like modern homes, but you can tell it's a luxury home. I mean, let's just take a look at the photos. This is ridiculous. This is pretty ridiculous here. Now, I'm not saying is this a nice home? Yes. Is this something you would buy as your first home? Absolutely not. And what is even the estimated? See right here, look at the estimated mortgage. 2904. So that means you throw on taxes, homeowners insurance, and this one's in the HOA area. So you're probably looking at about 3,800 a month on your mortgage. That's damn near impossible. You're going to end up losing it. You're going to be underwater. You didn't put enough down. The bank basically lent you most of the money for it. I mean, 10% down, you're only looking at, I mean, it's $50,000, it's 10% down, but that's where you could have went to the other house, put down 20%, and you would have had 20% equity in that house, and you would have been fine in this current market. That's why I think a lot of Gen Zers didn't plan for, because there's a lot of 28 to 29-year-olds, maybe younger millennials or older Gen Zers that they overbought on their home. They're overbought. And we've all had, I have plenty of relatives that in 2008 that they were just slinging it. Like, oh, great time. We're buying this, we're buying that. Like, I had a couple friends that they bought a nice $600,000 home in 2005, and then in 2010 it was in foreclosure because it was underwater. And that house was, I think, went on the market for like 290, and they couldn't afford it. They were behind. The title had a lien on it from the IRS because they were behind on their property taxes. You don't want to be like that. And I think a lot of Gen Zers are mistaking that you can still have the American dream. You just can't buy this type of house. It's nice, it's cool looking, but at the same time, you're not gonna be able to afford it. Let me just hear. I'm sure I can find something. Like here we go. If you're single and you're buying a house, wouldn't this make sense? If you had $50,000 to put down, yeah, it's a small house, but if it's just yourself, this is all you really need. No HOA fees. Looks like everything's upgraded, has been upgraded. I can tell you the mortgage on this. Let's just minus the 50,000. If you had 50,000 to put down, divided by, yeah, you're looking at about $900 a month on your mortgage after taxes and homeowners insurance. Granted, you don't have a garage, but I think that's more feasible and obtainable for people. And I know that the American dream is get the house, work the 9 to 5, have weekends off, and have that family. But you guys got to understand, most people before this time, you would buy a house like this. You'd probably live in it for about 5 to 10 years, massive amount of equity, and you'd either sell this and use it as your down payment for that $600,000 home. So you're putting down 33%, or you're renting it out. and you're making extra money, and you have another 50 or 60,000 that you put down on another house. And at this point, you have established a credit history of paying a large loan on time all the time.
I would
I
actually buy something like that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you guys tell me. Put a comment in a chat. Would you buy this house? It's pretty straightforward. It's not the best. It's not fancy, but it's a home, and it's a relatively nice home for your first home. You really can't beat that. It looks like they even did some work on the backyard too. You look at the backyard. Looks like they did some work back. It looked like they put in a lot of work, and it's got a new roof. But that's the type of thing. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants this type of house. Here, we'll go right here. 21 new homes. Let's pull that one up. What are these guys? Even these, they're starter homes, but look, they're just a little too high. It's okay to not be able to get this home, and you would only be able to get this home if you're making $150,000 a year. I I would say if you're single, 150,000, or if you're a young couple, married couple, don't get a house if you're boyfriend girlfriend. Only get a house if you're married together. And that's just a number one rule. But your household income has to break 150,000, and I would get this. I would get one of these houses. But even still, let's go further up. Keep going. Even Springdale. I mean, this is your average house in Springdale. But I mean, this is 2,300 square feet. This is the house you should be moving into as your family grows, your career grows, your life changes. Like, this isn't the house for a 25-year-old for their first home. This is generally the house for the 35-year-old that have bought their first starter home and are moving out of it and into this. I don't know. That seems to be just my thoughts. And I also see a lot of people, they're trying to get the fancy car and say, and I've even seen people brag that, oh, I'm making $1,000 a month payments. That's a waste. You can get $200 payment and put the other 800 into stocks, crypto, or just even an index fund, and you'd be making a hell of a lot more money. I mean, I think one guy working for me is paying 1,200 a month on on a Dodge Hellcat, the Charger Hellcat. Man, times 12, that's 14,000 on 84 months. Man, that car only cost 60,000. That means he's paying $40,000 in interest. That right there is an American dream killer.
So he's paying
That's
80 total.
It's $1,200 a
80,000.
month. It's 1,200 a month, and he's got it under an 84-month term, which is 7 years times 1440. So that means he will pay through the life of that loan $100,800 roughly. And that car is
What the
only
hell?
registered 69,000 when he bought it. That was the sticker price. So that means 40% of what he paid is interest payments. That's just damn near insane. I mean, that's a dream killer right there. I mean,
See, the car I
$40,000.
plan on buying. See, and even the car I plan on buying, like, is about 20 to 22,000. Like, I'm literally gonna own that vehicle.
Yeah, it's like I said, you're trying to live a boss life without being the boss first. And even still, once you get to that level, save and accumulate and build your base so that you can in a couple years get the things you want. Like, don't like I almost made that mistake too. My business was doing well last year. I was about ready to run out there and buy all these cars and get the house. I said, "You know what? Let me just keep investing. That was a smart decision because I kept
So
putting money into crypto, kept putting money into stocks, kept putting money into real estate. Now I'm getting ready to end of this year. I can really get the things I really want. And just
this that
sacrifice
house
a
you
little more.
showed,
What happened?
that house you showed for 209,000. Like if I
Yeah,
had like 400, if I had $400,000, like I would buy that house in full and I would live in it like permanently. Like seriously, like I would live frugally and just own that place and pay property taxes and maintenance on it, and I just invest.
yeah. And in Arkansas, that property tax is like 1,200 a year. You guys think you can come up with $1,200 for the year in property taxes? Like that's insane. And even if Cody wanted to just rent it out, he could take a equity advance out to go buy another like rental property because the rental properties now are dropping. Like I'm starting to see them for 100,000, 90,000, 75,000 for duplex. These are for duplexes. And this is just the crust of the real estate bubble. So imagine what's going to happen in 6 to 8 months when everything really starts going down. Because the rental prices are already going down. Not quite yet up here in the Bible Belt area, but in the Sun Belt area, the rental prices are already starting to drop because they just have too many vacancies. I mean, there's even some complexes are given like 3 months free rent if you sign a 2 year lease. All that's because a lot of these big developers that built all these things, they're stuck paying these high interest corporate loans, which can, are coming the the um the promo rates are ending this year. So that means they're going to owe a lot of money soon every month. Their interest rates are going from 0 to 12 or 15% because they're non-collateralized commercial loans. Unfortunately, that's bad news for any of the banks that lent them money. They're just going to lose their money because the developer's just going to give the keys back to the bank. I don't know. I think Gen Z has a chance at the American dream. I just think like if you stop doing the dumb shit and realizing that is dumb shit, you'll start to make some money. I don't know how else to say it. Like you got to stop looking at and comparing your life to everyone else and just say, hey, look, I'm going to stay in my lane. You got that 10-year-old pickup truck, rock that 10-year-old pickup truck. Shoot, I'm rocking a Toyota Tacoma right now. I don't even drive my work trucks around anymore. I like driving the new Ford F-250s around, but if it's not out on a job, it's at the lot. It's at my lot. That's it. It stays right there. You don't need to flex. You don't need to do anything. You just need to understand that the best thing you can do is not spend the money you're making on frivolous luxury items and really put that money to work for you in other areas. Whether it's crypto, stocks, I would recommend make sure you have an emergency fund first, get your stocks up, get your credit score up, and then maybe dabble a little bit in crypto. But you definitely investing that money instead
Hey
of
Sal,
spending
can
that
you hear
money.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was gonna ask you a question. It's a little off topic, but kind of on topic.
Yeah, sure, fire away.
So, I'm feeling more extra like bullish on polka dot, and I have chain link. I have a little bit of it, but not as much as my polka dot. So, like, I don't know if it's just emotion of FOMO or what, but something's telling me like, man, like swap your chain link for more dot and just keep staking the dot. And the only benefit I would see for that would be the staking rewards because I'd make a shit ton of staking rewards if I did that. But the other part of me is saying like, nah, I can make money from both. What would you say? Should I ignore the kind of the FOMO feeling of switching my link or should I hold both?
Me personally, I would hold both. If you feel like you're missing on a dot, then just put more of a ratio into dot. Like if you have 500 to put in every paycheck to crypto, I would do maybe like 100 to Chainlink, and maybe do 400 to Dot, or whatever your distribution is to help grow and ease that. Most of what you're experiencing is just a fear of missing out, FOMO, and you're really not missing out. You're just diversifying the potential loss while trying to capitalize on more potential gains, because they're both are going to do well. They're both validated projects.
Yeah.
Does one have more than the other? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. The only thing you can do is, if you feel like you need to put more money into Dot, then put more money into Dot while holding Chainlink, or putting a little bit into Chainlink and more focus on Dot.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's kind of what I was thinking, because because I have 1,000 dot right now, I keep thinking like, man, if I can just get the 2,000 dot and sell it at like $50, that's 100,000 in equity.
I would keep both, because both are gonna every crypto is gonna hit a different all time high.
Yeah, at different times, especially.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. It looks like we may not. I mean, we didn't. It's kind of an impromptu live. It doesn't look like we're getting a good amount of traffic in. So we can see a few people coming and going. But hey, we're glad to hear. There's really not much for me else to talk about. I want to talk about kind of like this housing, because like the information on from Freddie Mac is out about the housing market. It's definitely a good read. It's free for everybody, but you can tell that over the years that it's not looking good for us. Like, it seems like we're going to get that recession, and that's only going to make Gen Zers doom spend even more, because they're going to be like, well, what's the point? I'm hitting a depression. But it's like, you guys got to understand, these go in cycles. This is going to have a boon in housing, and a bust in housing is going to happen again and again and again and again, because of human nature. When prices go down, people get excited again. They'll start buying more. It'll be slow at first. Then, as the middle of the hype pulls in, more and more people come in, and then the bubble will hit the top, and then the market will go back down as people cool off. So I wouldn't be too worried. If you're a Gen Zer and you're watching this and you think that the American dream is just impossible, you still can hit it. Although I know that the red pills are going to have a field day once they find this video about me talking about how most of the spending is done by women, and single women hold a lot of the debt, and it's not good that you bought a house at the top of the market with very little down. But like I said, too much house, too much mortgage, not enough money down. And that's going to spell disaster for what's coming. It's going to spell real disaster for what's coming. But if you're like me, you're just kind of sitting on the sidelines and you've been well prepared over the last 3 years, you're probably going to come out thinking like you're the luckiest person alive, because you're probably going to get the best timing to buy all of these houses on short sale, auction, and foreclosure. Shoot, I know in about 8 months I'm gonna be able to walk into a bank, go to their foreclosure department, tell them, hey, show me your houses that are in foreclosure, and I'll just pick the ones I want. That's how it's gonna be. And it's gonna be like that probably for another 5 or 6 years. And then we'll start to have another real economic boon. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it's going. But right now, it ain't looking too good. Just isn't looking good. It just isn't looking good. And unfortunately, Gen Zers kind of shot themselves in the foot, and they're going to kind of cause their own demise with it, and blame it on that the American dream is not obtainable, even though it's the doom spending and their own financial decisions that are kind of pushing them that way. Because I can't tell you how many young guys between 18 and 25. They are here making good money with me, and they are just spending it. I saw one guy I hired 4 months ago out in our Little Rock site. He started working. He's making 40 base. He's just a helper. He's also getting tips. So he's probably making closer to like 50 with tips and bonuses. First thing I see him the last time I went to Little Rock, which was 2 weeks ago, he bought a brand new Charger. Another guy, like these guys just buying new cars without really thinking about, oh, maybe I should have saved some of that money. Maybe I should have built a foundation first before I've done that spending. Then that's what I realized. I should build my foundation first before I get that nice exotic car, go get the nice house. And I said by when 2025 hits, I'll be in a good position. And it looks like I'm going to be in a real good position because we're pretty much booked out for the year on the construction company. The moving company's getting back up to where it was 2 years ago. The furniture store that I bought and I've been losing and hemorrhaging money on is now finally starting to make money. So a lot of positive things, a lot of positive things. But with that said, guys, I'm going to sign off early. Usually our Wednesdays go a little longer, but I do want to get home, have family dinner with my brother, my mom, and a few friends. So, but I really appreciate you guys for joining in as I close out this day. And definitely check us out on Sunday for what's in your portfolio as I go over my wins and losses. I don't think I've done that yet with you guys for this month. And we can go over my portfolio, go over my businesses. It's a nice 2-hour video. Also, next week, I'll have a crypto pick video coming up and a stock pick video coming up. Also, the series is coming to the Patreon for my experiences, my obstacles that I had to overcome while running and building a business. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and being here. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I will see you guys next time. Have a safe night.